So, good morning. Thank you guys for joining us for another edition of our real estate backstory. Today is October 30th. And in addition to being our son's birthday, we got a lot of things going on with us today, kind of thing. So, we want to kind of start off talking about because it's the spooky season, like, will buyers buy a haunted house?
Absolutely, if you check their box.
Yeah. 70% of prospective buyers would buy a haunted house if they knew it was haunted, but it checked all their boxes for everything, kind of thing. There was a recent Zillow survey that came out and said that 35% of buyers would buy a haunted house simply if it costs less, kind of
Yep.
thing. So 40% said they'd buy a haunted house if it had the right features. 30% said they'd be more likely to buy a haunted house if they knew it was haunted. Like, have you never seen a movie? I have no idea how that, stay away from the light, Caroline. I just don't know how that works, kind of thing. Among successful buyers right now, 12% of buyers currently say that their home is definitely haunted. Now, here in Georgia, are we required to disclose that a house is haunted?
No,
No.
you cannot stigmatize a house, and that is the state law. Okay.
Yeah.
But if asked, you have to tell the truth, basically, have to answer honestly about that. So, as far as stigmatization, absolutely not.
Right. And so now, what about if somebody dies on the property? Only if asked.
Only if
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah. We don't have to say if someone has ever died on a property, but now if somebody asks, we must answer honestly to the best of our knowledge and the best of the seller's knowledge, that kind of thing. So, now we have a couple of quick announcements that I want to put out there into the world. And so the first one is FMLS just recently put out a new notice that FMLS is now putting in what is called Restb.AI. And I'm not sure the actual way to pronounce it, but basically what that is where it takes the photos that you upload and it automatically tags them
for captions
with all the captions on there, and like it recognizes this is a living room, this is a kitchen. Yeah,
this is the bedroom, this is the master bedroom. Well, I don't know if it distinguished master versus secondary bedroom. So anyways, that's what the Restb.AI is about.
Yep. Now, in addition to that, we have other. So that's from FMLS coming out in Georgia MLS starting on Monday is going to be FOREWARN. Is going to be part of our Georgia MLS system. And so FOREWARN is something that we've used in the past. We have quite a few agents that currently pay for FOREWARN. And then we also, and there's several other MLSs around the US that currently offer FOREWARN. And now we're going to be one of those. And what FOREWARN is, it's kind of like a little, like it's an app that you download on your phone, and then it will basically, it does this, like it's a little mini background check on whoever's calling you, showing you what the legit name is. Is there ever been any kind of thing?
Scammer, potential scam? Like if you have iPhone right now, sometime when I get a phone call, it says potential scammer. So
well, FOREWARN's a lot better than that. It actually does a quick background check just based on their phone number. It will show you who the true owner of the phone is. So it's actually a really cool thing that we have that. And so, but FMLS coming out with new tools. Georgia MLS, do we need to be using both MLSs? Absolutely, we really do, because they both have a lot of really great tools. So just don't get trapped into the idea that I only use Georgia MLS or I only use FMLS. Both our MLSs really help out a lot.
And each one of them has their own strengths and weaknesses.
Yep, exactly. So we got this question this past week because we had a client and they said, well, or not us, one of our agents had a client and they said, this roof is 15 years old. It needs to be replaced. And the seller's like, it's not. And so like there's some misconceptions about how long the roofs last. And so these are just kind of industry norms. So architectural shingles for in 25 to 30 years. Asphalt, just
20 to 30. Your regular
street tab.
Yep.
Yeah. Clay tile, which we have very little of here in Georgia, 50 plus years. Metal. Now there are quite a few metal roofs around. 40 to 70 years.
They're one of the longest lasting roofing systems.
Yeah.
So
and then
slate tiles, 50 plus years. So it just depends. tile concrete 50+ year, and wood shingle only 20 to 50.
Yeah, those are most. Slate's going to be on high-end properties. Tile concrete, again, it's going to be high-end or even commercial properties.
That's why commercial building has the concrete roof.
Wood shingles, pretty rare. Again, those don't last quite as long, but they can. It just kind of depends. But for most of your clients, it's going to be either architectural asphalt. Asphalt shingles are just your standard 3-tab, and architectural or 3-tab as well, but they look prettier, for lack of a better term. So, but those are your average time frames for how long the roofs actually last out there. So now there was a recent court case here where we had some architects that were suing agents because they went out and made floor plans using things like Kubikasi and some of these other programs, because so many of our buyers want to know what the floor plan of the property looks like.
Well, they want to look at the use of space and what they can do with it.
And so there were some agents who got sued. The architect said, "You are disclosing our floor plans, and that's unfair." And the court came back and said, no, they're not putting in dimensions. They're not showing, load bearing and any of that kind of stuff. All they do is just basically showing the outline of the floor. They're showing some basic square footages and what the overall floor plan looks like. It's just the dimensions of the property. And so we prevailed, kind of thing. So please, if you hear about stuff like that, don't worry. A lot of our buyers really want floor plans.
Well, they want to know what's a usable space, how they can use it. And sometimes it's hard to see that layout when you're in a house with all the furniture and everything else. So for them, it's easier to see it on a visual, just a very basic drawing of the dimension where the rooms are.
Yep. All right. Now, HUD has announced $30 million to combat housing discrimination.
Remember, I told you guys there are a tester out there.
Well, but this is how much they're putting out. Now, some things are for education. They got $9 million of putting towards education and outreach kind of thing, and another $500,000 grant in there. But then you'll notice that the Fair Housing Initiative, which is for fair housing enforcement, that's $3.7 million and $16 million. So about 19 or 2/3 of all the money is to test us out there. So they want to make not just testing us, testing landlords, and the whole 9 yards, but like
and honestly, we believe in ownership, and that's how you build wealth. Yeah. And therefore, no one should be discriminated on owning a property.
Yeah, so like we don't worry about this, but like our testers out there, do we need to make sure that the language that we're using in our listing descriptions and these kind of things
absolutely
always promote fair housing.
And listen, y'all, I know some of y'all are using ChatGPT for your description, which is fine. Make sure you read through that ChatGPT. It does not talk about familiar status or the character of the potential buyer.
Yep.
But the characteristic of the house is totally fine.
Yep. All right. So interest rates this week went up again.
Yes.
So they ticked up again one more time. We are feeling a ton of pressure from mortgage rates. Now, this week, the Fed will be meeting on Wednesday. They meet Tuesday and Wednesday. On Wednesday, they're going to be announcing. It's pretty much expected that they're probably not going to do anything. There is a chance they could raise it, but it doesn't really look like it. Most of the betting folks are like, it's not expected to happen.
It's not expected, but Jerome Powell has done things that was contrary to what we project is going to be.
Well, but overall, our mortgage applications have declined a lot. We are still feeling that pinch, and especially we're feeling the pinch right now. But it's also a really good time to buy at the moment. Now, overall, here in Georgia, about 54.95 or 55% of all mortgages that are applied for are approved. Now, here in Georgia, we run somewhere between 46 and 71%. But you can see that overall, like the reason I bring this up is what's the chance of if you send your client to a lender, what's the chances they're going to get approved? Over half of your folks will just be approved just based on pure numbers. So please send your folks over as soon as you have them. And so at the same time, or maybe not at the same time, but like Metro Atlanta Speaks is a survey that they put out throughout the entire metro area.
Atlanta.
And I'm not going to share the whole thing with you, but a couple of key points that kind of came up from Metro Atlanta Speaks. And so first one is that, for the overall metro, like what's the biggest problem facing residents in metro area? Crime's number one, followed by the economy. And so like crime and economy, and not that there's anything we can do that. I just kind of throw that out there so that you have an idea of what we're talking about and kind of what's going on in the public's mind. Now, when it comes to housing affordability continues to be a major issue for the Atlanta market. And so, right now, about 63% agree or strongly agree that they couldn't afford to move right this minute. But that being said, the other side of this is, if they could, 4 out of 5 folks in Atlanta would move. So as the economy increases, as interest rates go down, really what I want you to see here is that there is still a lot of urging demand to move to a different neighborhood in Metro Atlanta, or some folks want to move away from Metro Atlanta. A lot of folks want to stay where they're at, that kind of stuff. But you can see that, over half the folks would move to a different area of Atlanta if they could. And so that's a really solid number, right? That shows that there's a lot of demand in our marketplace. Now, at the same time, cash is king again, right? We have and so right now, all cash buyers are a big piece of our market. And that's different than the all cash buyers that we had in the past. In the past, all cash buyers was really synonymous to, yeah, exactly. They
industrious investors. And now we have, because the equity of home has built during pandemic, a lot of your folks that did have a home now have reserved cash, and able to do that and basically sell their property, buy it with cash.
Yeah. And so this shows what that breakdown of share of buyers who purchase with all cash by generation. So of course, our silent generation, our older boomers, that kind of stuff. These are the folks, younger, older boomers and the silent generation. You can see that's the group, and they're our biggest share of buyers right now.
For cash.
Yeah. Well, and overall, currently at the moment, because so many of our boomers and seniors have built up a large amount of equity, through that. Now, that being said, our first-time buyers gone. Even though, and my heart goes out to first-time buyers. It's a tough market to be in. However, first-time buyers still make up 27% of our market. 1 out of 4 buyers is still first-time buyers right now. And so even though I know that it's a challenge, I know that it's tough to be out there in the first-time buyer position, wealth is tied up in the home ownership, and our buyers know that. Our first-time buyers understand that. They're making an investment in their future. And so at the same time, what kind of activity is really out there? So the National Association of Home Builders, they went out and said, for prospective home buyers planning to buy a home in the next 12 months, how many is looking to do it? 17% are looking to buy a home in the next 12 months. And that's trending up. It's trending up more and more and more. And so you can see what it's been since 2018. We're actually on the high side of how many prospective buyers are planning to buy a home in the next year. And so that's a really good thing. Now, at the same time, what kind of homes are they looking for? Most folks are either. Like some folks are,
during pandemic, new home was in such a demand because the virus, and people was fearful of the virus. I think that's what built a lot of your new construction inventory and demand.
But new home demand is up again.
It is.
And so like some folks are like I'll just take any house I can find that's in my price range. But now there's also a lot of folks that are wanting to move into new construction. So understand that for us, like a quarter of our buyers are new construction. Our first-time buyers, and new construction has a lot of our inventory. More people want to buy new construction. So we need to be really competent at that product out there. At the same time, we have hit a 19-month high on new home sales.
Right.
So new home sales increased by 12%. So new home sales are up big time. Now, at the same time, the median new home price dropped by 12%. Coincidence? I think not. But now the drop is not because of declining values. So don't let that get
So the
tied up.
drop is typically with during pandemic, everything was going up, 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 up. And so at some point you gotta have a break even, and this is what happens. So they project the material is gonna be much higher than what it is at current date. So therefore they project higher than what the home is worth. And this is why they're reducing the sale price to one, still make a profit, and two, economy of scale on the inventory and labor
Well,
forces.
but they're building down. Okay, they're building
That
smaller
too.
homes. That's the big, like what we don't what we understand is they're not cutting prices. They're building smaller homes. This is not a drop. See, some people will read
Well,
this
take
stat and
this
think that,
and think
oh no, the market's dropping. No,
we're
no,
gonna
it
get
isn't.
foreclosure.
They're building a different product. Okay, and so we see so many more townhomes under construction right now. Why is that?
Correct.
Because they're less expensive for our buyers. And the buyers in turn are responding. So new home sales are up and new home prices are down. Not down because of declining property values, down because they're building a different product right now. And that kind of runs across the north, south, east, west. You can see that here in the south, the south continues to be a major hub for new construction moving forward, and like it's really really strong here. So please make sure you're including that in the list of services that you're offering. Now, overall, we're still seeing where median prices are continuing. We're up nationwide. We're up 3.1%. So that trend is still holding steady. Now, what is also nice is that we're starting to get closer and closer on pending sales versus last year. So you can see that number is continuing. Now it's still down from our historical norms, that kind of stuff. But the fact is that we're actually starting to meet up with last year is a really good sign.
Correct.
Now, here's something very interesting is that new listings of homes are now even with last year. We've been down under last year for the entire year. This is the first time where the number of new listings matched up with where it was last year. And so we are seeing an uptick in inventory. Now, overall total inventory is still down, but that number is steadily increasing. So even though interest rates are high and those kind of things, availability of inventory is a really big deal, and we're seeing more inventory now. I think through the October, or well, November, December especially,
Yeah.
we're going
Yeah,
to
at
see
the
a
end of
lot more.
October.
October's pretty much done. So now however, we still sitting at 3.5 months of supply, so we still don't have enough supply to meet demand at this point. We're still, you need 6 months of supply to have a stable market. But what's really interesting is that even though we say, look, inventory is increasing, however, still almost 40% of our properties go into contract within 2 weeks. So good properties, priced right in good areas, those are going quickly. And then 30% of homes are still selling above final list.
Which is
So
nice.
it is. So, but it's definitely a world of two markets, because we have the folks who want to come out and they price their home. They listen to us, and we look at our comparable sales and listings, and we say, this is what a buyer is willing to pay for this home in this market. And when our sellers really listen to us, then those homes go quickly. Now, when they don't listen, because at the same exact time, we have almost 7% of listings having price drops. Now, this is a national average, and in Atlanta, it's closer to 20%. And so we have this really weird mix of overpriced homes, and then the prices of the properties that come out quickly on the market and go quickly, kind of thing. And so the days of, let's just throw it out there and see, are not working.
Right.
And so we're seeing where more and more properties are having to take a price reduction, unfortunately. So, but again, it shows if you price your property the right way at the right price, it's going to go quickly. So this week, we've got our relaunch is all this week in our Conyers office. You have to be in person for the 25-hour post license. At the same time, we also have lead generation in today's market. That's today in the Conyers office, and as well as online. On Wednesday, it's real estate marketing technology secrets, and on Friday, it's business planning. We start at 9:30. Please catch us online or in person. But again, relaunch is only in person. So we hope that you guys have a great week. If we can be of any kind of service, please call, text, smoke signals. Have a great week, everybody.